What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today we are going to be showcasing all of the content arriving in Destiny 2 in the time leading up to the Final Shape expansion. Right now is a pretty weird time for the game. Normally we'd be gearing up for a massive DLC drop in February, but because the Final Shape got delayed from February all the way to June 4th, we have a whole lot of time where not much is going on. However, Bungie has come in and added additional content during that time period, so I wanted to keep you guys informed, especially because we have some brand new information on that upcoming content. So again, what does the journey to the Final Shape look like? Well, let's get started. Now, I do want to provide this really awesome graphic made by blueberries.gg and Destiny Tracker. You can pause and look at that. Some of this information is actually outdated, but it's a really good reference point to what's coming. So, at the time I'm making this video, we are nearing the end of January. All of the different Wishkeeper exotic bow upgrades have come out, and if you're behind on that, definitely go and check the channel. I have guides for every single week where to find the different constellations you need, etc. Now, we also have the launch of the final announced Iron Banner from January 23rd to the 30th. Keep in mind, there is going to be more Iron Banners before the Final Shape, but we don't know the exact dates yet. But moving on from there, the next things that are going to arrive in the game are wishes and moments of triumph. However, we actually have some brand new updated information on both of those activities. First of all, we have the start date for both of them. They're not arriving in February, and in fact, they're actually being added to the game on January 30th. So mark your calendars. As for some additional information about specifically Riven's wishes, Bungie says they will provide new weekly pursuits that players can complete to redeem a prize of their choosing from a pool of rewards each week for 6 weeks straight. So that also means that Bungie has given us an end date. Riven's Wishes will wrap up by March 5th, with that being the final Tuesday reset where the last Riven's Wish mission occurs. Now, what exactly do these entail? Well, we're going to have to wait and find out for that, but certainly 6 weeks of content is pretty decent as long as the rewards are significant. Now, it does say a prize of the player's choosing, which would mean you have some agency over the reward you get. Somewhat like if you do the coil, you can actually get an armor reward from the armor chest or a weapon specifically from the weapon chest. But if it's just going to be the same old Season of the Wish and Vex weapons, players are going to be pretty disappointed. What I would do personally is make it world drop weapons. Those are notoriously hard to farm for, and Bungie has added some incredible ones into the world drop loot pool with Season of the Wish. If you could actually go and pick, for example, I just made a video on the Ross Arago 4 Void Auto Rifle. That thing is incredible, and if you could actually target farm it with Riven's Wishes, man, people would be hyped. However, let's also talk about Moments of Triumph 2023. If you don't know what that is, Bungie says it will offer both in-game and physical Bungie rewards, as well as 30 challenges to honor your last year of achievements. So, here is an image of the in-game pop-up for Moments of Triumph 2022. Essentially, you go into your Triumph tab, and there is a seal associated with a bunch of different, triumphs that involve what happened this past year. So it's going to be going in, doing the newest raid often, completing different things, and generally, if you've been playing a lot, completing this really isn't too hard, but if you're a more casual player, it may be a good time to go in there and get the year's worth of stuff done to chase that title. And there's also going to be cosmetic rewards. There's often stuff like exotic sparrows, exotic ghost shells, as well as, again, the ability to unlock physical rewards like t-shirts and so on. But generally, not too much content, really just an additional set of triumphs to kind of go back and do whatever happened that past year. So let's continue from there to the next thing that is going to arrive in Destiny 2, and that is Guardian Games arriving sometime in March. Now, if you don't know what Guardian Games are, essentially it's a big competition between the 3 different classes. Everyone has their favorite class. You're either a Titan main, or a Warlock main, or a sweaty tryhard, and or a Hunter main. I'm just kidding. It's already starting in me, guys. My blood's already boiling. But you are going to be able to play a certain character, go and complete these different activities, and then you're going to earn medals that you deposit to advance your character's standing throughout the day. And everyone else is doing the same thing. So like all the Warlocks, all the Hunters, all the Titans are competing to see if they can come out on top. Importantly, there's also going to be, new armor sets, Guardian Games themed armor sets for the 3 different characters, as well as there's often a brand new legendary weapon to go after during this event as well. So as long as that's good, it could be a pretty sweet event. But moving from Guardian Games, after that, what we can expect arriving in April is Destiny 2 Into the Light. Now, this is a bit of a mystery. We don't know exactly what this is, but here's what we do know. Bungie says, beginning in April, we're delivering a 2-month content update available to everyone called Destiny 2 Into the Light, which will prepare players for their Guardian's journey into the Traveler. Now, as for this quote, it was announced at the same time that the Final Shape delay was announced. So this is the main piece of content that Bungie is providing us to bridge the gap, leading up to the Final Shape. This is the thing that's supposed to help prevent everyone from getting bored waiting around for June 4th. Now, interestingly, this has actually happened before with the 30th anniversary update pack. That was not originally intended to be made. That was made because a major DLC was delayed from the fall all the way to February, I believe. So the same thing was happening. A season suddenly got extended massively with extra time, so Bungie came up with something to entertain people in the meantime. And generally, people loved the 30th anniversary pack. It was a bit on the expensive side, to be honest. It was something like $30 for, basically it was the dungeon, the Galahorn and stuff like that, but even the free content was pretty darn good. The returning, Halo-themed weapons were absolutely incredible, and again, most people loved that addition. Now, will this be on the same level of something like the 30th anniversary update? Well, all signs point to no, that it's going to be less content because Bungie is going to have significantly less time to create Into the Light than they did with the 30th anniversary pack. However, importantly, Bungie has said that Into the Light is free for all players, and they have specifically said that whether you're brand new to the game or a veteran, we're going to give you something to do as you kind of get ready to face off with the Witness. So I would expect a new activity probably, and that new activity giving new rewards, specifically new weapons, especially more like weapons with themes from the Final Shape. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they took just a few weapons that were originally intended for the Final Shape, just put them into the Light to kind of get those themes started, get people hyped, and maybe an exotic quest, but that's probably a bit like overthinking it. That's a bit pie in the sky, to be honest. But a new activity with some new rewards, and specifically like brand new weapons, I think that is a very safe guess as for what is happening within this new content. But moving on from there, guys, the next major thing that is arriving in May is the release of the PvP map pack. So Bungie has brought forward a PvP strike team. This is a group of developers that are solely tasked with, fixing PvP, let's be honest. And one of the things they identified is that it's way better to release a map pack instead of rolling out just one map at a time, because that map becomes because it's the only new one, will get old quicker. It's nice to have a big injection of a bunch of maps, so that's exactly what they're doing. 3 new PvP maps will arrive all at the same time during May, so that people can get into PvP again leading up to the final shape expansion. But moving on from there, we actually have one more big thing that's arriving sometime between now and the release of the final shape. And unlike everything else where we know either the exact dates or we know rough dates of when they're going to arrive, this last thing, we have no idea when exactly it's going to arrive, and that is the Season 23 mid-season update. Every single season we get a big mid-season update that changes the balancing of weapons and exotic armor and sometimes, perks and some other things, and usually it does a fairly good job of shaking up the meta. Builds that maybe weren't that good suddenly become very good. Builds that were on top sometimes do get nerfed, and we do know that one of those is arriving sometime. Again, it's hard to pin when the mid-season update is going to arrive because the season just, doubled in length, but hopefully that will do a good job of rebalancing, again, exotics, weapons, and so on, to let people experience some new builds. I think the biggest thing they need to do is actually give some love to stasis. Funny enough, this season, Season of the Wish, was supposed to be the season of stasis. It's the first time where we have seasonal artifact perks that boost stasis, but I mean, compared to how much the seasonal artifact perks boost Strand and Solar, no one's even touching stasis. So I do hope they actually give the element that they said would be featured this season some much needed love. Guys, that is going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.